Hi everyone, welcome to the Sip and Spin. I am the Tipsy Spinster and this is my annual Small Business Saturday episode. In my glass is the Green Ghost, which is a cocktail made of gin, green chartreuse, lime juice, and a little bit of simple syrup. And why I picked this particular cocktail is going to become very apparent very, very quickly. So, as you know, I love finding and promoting small businesses, especially those that are comprised of husband and wife teams. Jan and Richard Ford are the force behind the level wind system, most specifically the auto winder. So when the Majestic spinning wheel came out a little while ago, I knew that I had to have one. This year they outdid themselves and they came out with a new base for the auto winder. It's kind of like it's a similar style base to the Majestic, but as you can see, it's done in this beautiful acrylic. This is the Ghost. And the Ghost is the coolest spinning wheel, and there's a lazy Kate that goes with it. So as soon as this wheel came out, I knew that I was going to have one. And what I really like about this company is they offer a lot of different packages and a lot of different ways that you can choose the right wheel for you. So package number one comes with the wheel and the manual flyer, along with your power supply and foot pedal. Option number two comes with the wheel and your power supplies and everything, and the auto winder, which is such an amazing piece of technology. And then when you look at the website, you'll notice that number three and number four are kind of empty. Those are packages still to be determined. And then number five is the whole shebang. And so that comes with the two flyers, the power supply, and the beautiful box to go with it. Now, because I already have the Majestic, I reached out to see if I could sort of put together an a la carte package with the wheel and the manual flyer. Jan and Richard were absolutely willing to do that. And so my package included the flyer as well as the new Lazy Kate that they've just come out with. This is the most amazing Lazy Kate that I've ever seen. Most Lazy Kates usually have a cord type system, tensioning system, which controls the spin of your wheel. This particular Lazy Kate has this feature that stops the wheel just by how much force you're putting on it. It is the neatest design that I've ever seen. And then I also noticed they have a bobbin adapter kit, and that's why I have this random bucket of bobbins here, because every single one of these bobbins, so this is from an EEW6, this is an old Ashford, this is a Minstrel, here's a Lendrum, here's a Kromsky Sonata, and as you can see, this has quite a bit of fiber on it, and this was one of the reasons why I wanted the bobbin adapter kit. This fiber has been on this spindle for almost 10 years. And as much as I love my Sonata, I love my Sonata, but I also like how the small footprint that the Ghost has, and the fact that I can use this in front of the TV, sitting at the computer. I don't have to take out the big treadle wheel. So I want to demonstrate a few things so you have kind of a better understanding of what this particular spinning wheel can do. So give me just a second to get organized and I will be right back. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the manual flyer. You'll notice I have the hook all the way out here just to keep this arm balanced. One of the things that I really love about level wind systems and their bobbins is the way that we can start a leader. I love this little guy right here because that hole, I can just do this. I can tie a quick slip knot and I'm ready to go. I don't have to fiddle with it. There's no way that this is gonna slip on here. Oftentimes when you put a leader onto your bobbin, it has a tendency to slip around. This clip prevents that. And with the auto wind, the recommendation is that you always start in the middle and then it builds out from there. So I have a tendency when I'm using this particular machine just to start in the middle anyway and then build my cop out from there. I'm also using the additional orifice reducer, which I would highly recommend. It's great. It's just a magnet and it clips right on, which is so innovative. I really like it. And so once you get in and get started, go. Now, I will say that now that I have it started, guys, see, it's so effortless. It just starts so effortlessly. I love it. One of the things I do want to point out, I changed the tensioning, the bobbin tension band. The original, or both the Ghost and the Majestic come with clear monofilament line, and as much as I wanted to like that particular tensioning system, I actually like the cord a lot better. For some reason, it gives me, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, more consistent tension. I don't feel like I'm fiddling with it as much, and it doesn't, for lack of a better word, it doesn't stick. 3D printed bobbins have a tendency, even when they're the smoothest, to still have some rough spots. And for some reason, that clear monofilament, it catches those rough spots every single time. And it has absolutely changed my spin. So the nice thing is, switching to this cord, I don't have to worry about it getting caught. It's never gotten caught in a bobbin, and I really like that. And as you can hear, the only sound that this machine makes is the sound of the tensioning cord running past or running over the bobbin. It is whisper quiet, and I absolutely love that. So now, so we've got it going and we've got it started, and I could just sit and spin for you all day, as I think many of you know. So now let's talk a little bit about the different ways you can adapt other bobbins for it. So here's the monofilament line that originally comes with it. One of the other things that I really find, I gotta get my little Allen wrench out here. One of the other things that I really, really like about this wheel is the way that the tensioning system is set up. So this tensioning system is set up with this little gadget right here, and that's going to make a lot of sense in just a second as I switch out my bobbin. So this is an auto wind bobbin, and I'm going to pop this off and put it on the Lazy Kate for now. And so let's go with the eel bobbin. Now, just to sit it on, it's gonna bounce. And so there are these great little pop-ins that just clip, they go right in. This little guy just slips on like so. This little guy slips on so it sits in there perfectly. And this little guy pops on as well. It just sits right in there. And then it sits right back in there. Like so. Now, if you'll notice, this, of course, is going to be way too big. And so that's where this really great tool comes in. Loosen the Allen wrench. Slide it up. I also think this is a lot easier with this cord than moving the band up and down is a lot easier with the cord than with the monofilament line. Slides right back on. Okay. Let fluff go. Do I have? Okay, make sure I have everything. And away we go. And now this is funny. The cord with the bobbin for the EE6 is completely silent. So this is now a completely silent machine. And I think that just has to do with the material used in making the 3D bobbin. So there is another bobbin on there. I'll wind this on here like so. Say you have a wheel, a treadle wheel that is being repaired or in the shop, and so, but you still want to spin and you have this. Here's what's great. If you have a lendrum, the lendrum doesn't even need any fittings. The lendrum fits on here absolutely perfectly. The Kromsky, now I am going to show this one because this is just a little bit different. I will put the bushings in. Now the Kromsky is a longer bobbin. So for this particular bobbin, I'm not going to need as much space. All I need are these lovely little fluffy washers that come with the kit as well. So I'm just going to slide some of those on. Oops, I lost my bushing. Like so. Now this is quite loose, but I don't think I'm going to need to adjust it too much. No. Just be able to do that. And then I can start spinning on this. All right, and so this is the Shetland that I have had on my Sonata for, I would say going on almost 10 years. And so now, so here's the other great thing with this particular, well, with eSpinners in general. On my Sonata, I had to lace the flyer in order to get it to spin this fine. And I am spinning incredibly, incredibly fine, almost thread weight. And it's of course, it's doable. You can do that on any wheel. The nice thing with an eSpinner is I don't have to lace anything. Just simply by varying the speed and the tension with which it's being pulled onto the bobbin, I can spin as thin as I want. And so one of my resolutions for next year is going to be to go through and really start clearing out some of the stash fiber that I've had for years and years and years and years. And this is going to be one of the first fibers that is part of that stash down. And I am so looking forward to being able to finally get all of this spun. This was one of the first fleeces that I processed, and I made a lot of mistakes with it. I'll be the first to admit it. And so now I feel like I have a wheel that is going to be very kind in terms of handling those mistakes, and I should be able to get through this fiber very, very, very quickly. Now, can you use the bobbin kit with the auto winder? Yes, I have tried it with a couple of these, and it seems to work just fine. So I don't know that I will. I really like being able to use it with the manual flyer. I don't know. That's just kind of me in my head. If I'm using all of these different bobbins, I want to have just a little bit more control over where and how the thread or the yarn is going to be winding on to the bobbin. So this is kind of, today was just a kind of a quick recap on the level wind system Ghost eSpinner. If you have one, I would love to start seeing some hashtags out there. So if you have a Majestic, or if you have a Ghost, or any of the other auto wind systems, I'm going to drop some hashtags down in the description. I would love to start seeing those being used, just because I want to see, I almost feel like an island unto myself sometimes. I did a quick Instagram search, and there are very few images of these wheels out there. And I know that there are some Ghosts in the wild, as well as some Majestics in the wild. So I would love to start seeing those hashtags if you would be so kind. I'm curious to see who else owns them. Now, I know that I didn't really have a chance to talk about the Lazy Kate, but there's not really a whole lot to tell. The great thing is without any kind of tensioning system, your bobbins are just going to free spin. And so with these, the great thing about these is I can vary the speed at which they spin. And I think that's probably one of the neatest things about this Lazy Kate system. If you have a bobbin, or if you're applying from two different bobbins and they spin at different rates, you can put this on and control to make sure that they're both spinning at the same revolutions at the same time. So you don't have one that's overspinning, and you don't have one that's kind of going crazy. So it's really great because it doesn't require a lot to affect the spin on them. So I will definitely be doing more videos with this, because this is my new favorite Lazy Kate. I can't wait to actually start using it with different bobbins and everything. So get out there and shop small business, whether you're actually going someplace in person, or if you are shopping small business online. Please promote and help those small businesses as much as you possibly can. I am going to head back and continue spinning today. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, happy spinning.